worth of football. They've had Brett Favre, never worse than the third or fourth best quarterback in the league. And now they have Aaron Rodgers, never worse than third or fourth in the league. They have won Lombardi. At some point, that's going to start to get unsatisfying. Yep. I know we've talked about it, but Packers, at some point, what do we think about this team under Aaron Rodgers?
I like what the Dallas Cowboys doing right now. They still had opportunity to win that ball game with a young quarterback, a good offensive line, and we all figured like AR-12 was going to scorch the secondary. They came up with a pretty good game plan. They really did. Until that last drive when AR just made that spectacular throw on the sideline, and you got Cook just tiptoeing, and somebody been praying over there because they Hail Mary all day, and somebody always catch the ball on the Hail Mary. But for the most part, you can't deny what a young – because don't forget, AR-12 been in this situation a lot. He been to the playoffs a lot. Like, this was the first time Dak and Zeke and even Dez for some time. They haven't seen the playoffs in a while. So these guys really got in the playoffs atmosphere. Jerry's world, the stage is huge. And they almost won that game. So I'm looking at AR like, AR, you definitely a top quarterback, but – you only got one of them things.
Yeah, I don't mean to just put it only on 12, but when you look at the Packers as a whole now, the Cowboys, like you say, they're young, and you would assume they're not going to just fall off the face of the earth in 2017. Like you talk about, the Wolf, the Falcons are a good young team in the NFC, and then within their own division, not in their division, but I do think that the Eagles look like I'm not just saying that because you're sitting next to me there, the Wolf, but I think the Eagles are probably a team on the rise
competition.
as well.
It's some good competition.
And the Lions, I know that's ridiculous, but the Lions aren't bad.
Because the Lions got some of the Packers' best offensive linemen. And, I mean, you're looking at when you're playing those guys in the division, now there's going to be holes in front of Aaron Rodgers. But for me, the secondary was a mess last year, and they addressed it in the draft. They drafted Kevin King, and they drafted Josh Jones in the draft. So I'm interested to see how the secondary improves this year.
Second half of the year.
What Ted Thompson did. He kind of broke out from what he usually does and signed some free agents. So I really love Martellus Bennett there. I think that that's a great weapon for Aaron Rodgers. So yeah, I mean, they have a lot of competition, but I think that they did improve.
At some point, you got to go for it.
Yeah.
You can't just always – the goal can't always be consistency season after season. At some point, I feel like if you're getting to this point in Aaron Rodgers' career and you're the Packers, you got to say, we don't know who's coming after Rodgers. Let's go for it right now. This is our window. Before we move on, apparently the new teammate of Mike in Green Bay, Marty, has some thoughts on what the Green Bay Packers of 2017 are.
I don't know, Mike. I'm just trying to take it one day at a time and do everything I can to make sure my team wins one week, then the next week, and then that week. I'm just trying to win the day. I'm not really forecasting into the future, and I don't want to put that weight on my teammates' shoulders. So I just want to take it one day at a time, and we'll see what the outcome is at the end of the season.